Hello and welcome to Mitarn Ladder. If it's the first time you're watching the show, this is just a show where I look at my ladder games that I played on the EU Battle.net server, and I check what I did wrong, what I did right, what I didn't like, what I thought was good, just all that good stuff. And I sort of just try analyze my games. And it's something that I think a lot of people should do. It'll really help you improve your game if you can actually have a look at your game after you've played it. Whether you win or lose. I've looked at a few that I've lost already, but this one I'll give you a bit of a spoiler. I did win. I'm playing against a Terran friend over here called Return Trip. And I'll give him kudos on that nickname. I think it's quite cool. But, as usual, I'm going to switch back to my view now. That's not my view. That's my view over there. And I'm just going to have a look what I'm doing. Okay, so my plan in this was to... depending on what I see from my first scout, my plan was going into the game to either fast expand or just get that quick speed out for my speedlings and then expand a little bit later. But either way, I was going to go for a quick-ish expand. No one likes a one base in Zerg. So anyway, this is the most important part that we're looking at over here right now. This drone and what it sees. So when I actually played this game, I didn't realize it, but I do now. So once again, hindsight always a great thing. But anyway, I do realize now that when I scouted this ramp and I saw that he had his supply depot at the back, that generally means that they're going to put another barracks in here, and that generally means that you can have some early pressure and less gas. He didn't get either of his gases. I did see that. So you expect in an earlier game, you expect in an attack soon, and I think because I threw down the hatchery on 14. And the reason I did that is because I thought, okay, wow, only one rack's going up, and that was a big mistake by me. But yeah, fast expanding seems to be a bit of a dying breed as Zerg. More often than not, actually, the Zerg players get that spawning pool first, the gas down, get the speed before they even think about getting expansion up, because it's just that much safer. Okay, so from my point of view, a few things that I would have changed from the start here is I like the fact that I got this overlord out here, but then I realized, okay, wait, it's getting dangerously close, and these overlords are really slow, so I had to scoot it back over this side. But I like the fact that I had my overlords in good positions. This is a very, very good position. You've got a nice piece of sight here. And should he come with his marines or any kind of little early attack, this will delay him just that little bit extra if he even attacks it. Sure, it might supply cap me, but I'll be able to prepare for it. So I saw that and I thought to myself, oh my goodness, only one racks, I might be okay with the expand. So I put the expand down. Then I got the gas quite soon after that, just because I was going to get enough gas for that metabolic boost and then stop getting gas and then pump more into my economy, get more drones out, all that good stuff. And then obviously the majority of my forces would have been Zerglings, and I would have gotten a couple of spine crawlers out early to defend. So expansion went up at a pretty decent time, but I was still expecting an attack from him because I know he did scout it, and so I was obviously constantly thinking about getting spine crawlers down and thinking to myself, I have to be ready for it when it comes. Because once again, that's the kind of thing that I don't do often enough. I'm never ready for those attacks. So I'll put the production tab on now so that we can actually see what's going on. And yes, a bit of a spoiler there. You can see the Terrans, whatever he's building there. And let's just pretend that that's not there. So... at the moment, I mean, you can see I've got my saturation is looking okay. I mean, sure, we're very early in the game, but I'm getting a couple of drones out, and still getting drones. No Zerglings yet. It's risky. It's very risky, because if he had come with his first 2 or 3 Marines right now with a couple of SCVs, then I would have been in big trouble. So because of that, because I was thinking of that quite, I was definitely constantly thinking about that attack, I got these 2 spine crawlers down. The positioning, not great, but they did serve their purpose, if only slightly. And then I pumped out a couple of Zerglings, and this is where I'm going to pause now. I know you don't like it when I pause, but live with it. So I saw this little group coming up over here, and that's always like your heart sinks when you're a Zerg player and you see that coming out and you've got hardly anything out. But I was I was actually a little bit more confident than I usually am here, because my spine crawlers were about to go up. My timing was nearly perfect with them. I don't know about the Terran timing. You guys can maybe tell me if this Terran attacked a little bit late, attacked a little bit early. What did he do differently? I mean, this does seem a little bit late to me, but my timings aren't as refined as they could be. So anyway, I have a couple of larvae lying around. This inject's about to finish. My larva timing is okay, and I'm throwing down that baneling nest, and that's just to deal with this early mass marine pressure, because they often do that. Terran players often do that against me, and it's just in case. That baneling nest is just in case. So I put my 2 extra drones back on the gas, so that makes it back to 3 now. And then anyway, I'll resume now. So he's attacking now, and I thought I was in big trouble here, but my Terran buddy made a few mistakes of his own as well. He arrived just as these crawlers went up, so that was really, really unlucky for him. And for me, I wanted to just stay back and stay alive till my metabolic boost was done, and then I was quite successfully doing that. I was gonna just throw myself at him and hope for the best in just a second, but here I realized something, that it was a really big mistake. I don't know if he realized that he was not gonna make it, or if he decided, okay, he's in a very good position, because from his point of view, he didn't see very many Zerglings, and he saw that they didn't have speed. So just as he got here, he saw me throwing down another crawler, and he saw the speed finishing, so that was a bit of a oh crap by him. And then I held it off quite nicely. So yes, this is not the most impressive of play, nothing like that. I cancelled that spine crawler because I thought to myself, you know, I might not need it if he pulled back. And then I ran around like a fool trying to find those SCVs and Marines, and I obviously wasn't anywhere near to finding them. Well done, Swen. That's just awesome. So I was in a comfortable position once again, and when you're in a comfortable position as Zerg, it's always a good thing. Here I missed an opportunity. Once again, well done. I could have cut those off. But when you're in a good position, you should always take any opportunity you can to drone up, and I did that. I got 5 drones out here, and it definitely helped me out a lot, because now I released a previous video where I was actually struggling against a Terran on the same map, same matchup, same map. He did this early push, and he sort of crippled me. But the thing is, in this one, I decided, okay, I'm going to be more aggressive. So I got my lair tech started, and it might not have been the best timing once again, but I wanted to get Baneling speed out, and I wanted to get a couple of Banes out so I could try and prevent him from expanding and try and just whittle down those Marine forces, because I did see that little command center going up there as well. So what I do like is that in this game specifically, I got those drones out, and I didn't do that at the cost of my life, at the cost of the game. I had a bunch of Zerglings out. At the moment, it's not that much. I mean, if he had a couple of Helions out at this point, which he probably could have had, or a bunch more Marines and Stimpack, then he would have taken me out no problem. But because I was getting that lair tech out, and because my Baneling speed was about to start, I was actually quite confident with where I was. Not to mention the fact that when he gets on my creep, it's just that much harder. So then it was game time now. I think I was about to start more for these Banelings. And another thing, I keep forgetting this every single game. I should move more Overlords. I mean, there's no risk of moving an Overlord all the way around the map and then down the side, so you can get a good look in his base every now and then. And okay, here, big mistake by me, but I didn't leave empty-handed. I threw myself at him, and I think it was slightly careless. Not slightly, pretty careless actually. But I killed a bunch of Marines, and I prevented the bunker from going up. So right there, I decided to myself, okay, it's time to put the pressure on, because I know he's going to throw down another bunker. I knew it was coming. That was a fact. Okay, so I decided, okay, I'm going to get a couple of Banelings, and I saw that his army was mainly Marines. He doesn't have a single extension on his Raxus. So if you're a Zerg player and you're in this position, then you should think about putting pressure on, especially if you got that Baneling nest down, and especially if your speed is so close to finishing. I mean, mine is past halfway already. I had a bunch of Zerglings coming out now. You can see I stopped the drone production for just a second. A nice bunch of Zerglings coming out, a few Banelings already. There's 8 Banelings. So this is the kind of the time that you want to at least do a bit more damage, do a bit of damage that'll actually stick, that'll help you win that game. And you know, I'm pretty happy that I did it. Okay, I don't always do that, and I should just point out that I got 4 Overlords queued up there, big mistake. And always let the Banelings go. You know, you send your Zerglings in to attract the fire, then send the Banelings in afterwards so that they can just hit their mark at least. And that was pretty much it. I mean, I thought to myself, okay, I'm definitely got the game here, unless he's got some crazy stuff to pull out. These Zerglings are going to clean that up, no problem. And there you go. Return tip, rit. Can't I say that stuff properly? Return trip has left the game. So, you know, there were a few things that I could have done differently, sure. A lot of things, actually. I mean, I'm actually pumping a ton of Zerglings there. I didn't spend my gas, but then the thing is, in this situation, what I should have done is I should have maybe when I attacked thrown down my spire somewhere at the back of my base here, it doesn't really matter where, but I had the minerals and the gas for the spire, and I was saving up a decent amount of gas for those mutalisks as well. So at this point, I think about a minute or two ago, actually, even 3 or 4 minutes ago maybe, I should have thrown up both gas on my expansion as well, and then just started hauling in the gas so I can get enough to get a bunch of mutalisks out at the same time. Because if your opponent's going this mass marine army, it's incredibly immobile, and if he tries to make himself mobile by stimming the whole time, then that's not going to get him anywhere at all, because if you can just force stims the whole time, you're going to be in a good position too. So I do know if I switch to the all view that my opponent was going for some different stuff. He was getting siege tanks out, his siege tech was nearly done, so in my opinion the timing of my attack was actually pretty decent. Creep spread could have been better, overlord placement definitely needs improvement, but overall, I mean, it's a standard solid play to go with against a Terran. Saturation could have been a lot better too, but it was okay. I mean, for the length of the game, it was not bad. So I'm going to look at a few more games. Maybe I'll do 1 or 2 more now, I'm not sure. But you know, as I said at the beginning of the episode, it's really good for any of you out there. It doesn't matter what race you play, doesn't matter, especially if you're in a lower league, I think. It's really good to be able to watch your replays and look at, I mean, even if you lose, I know it's not nice looking at a losing game, but if you lose, you can still look at the game, look why you lost, try figure out where you went wrong, the time that he attacked, the amount of units he had, the composition of his army, all that stuff matters. So I hope this was at least a little bit informative. It was for me. This was actually the first time that I looked at the replay, so I do know what I could have done differently here, and I do know what I'm going to do differently next time. So thanks for watching, and keep checking back here soon for more.